walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left.
One sentence summary. Michelle Pfeiffer is a former Marine who's now teaching an inner city class of hoodlums. Not that her being a Marine has anything to do with the story. Could you beat the villain? The villain in this film is society. Could I beat it and help these kids graduate? Maybe. If I had military discipline, I would probably just use that to keep these naughty children in line. Failing that, because I haven't got military discipline, I would turn these kids into an Oliver Twist style street gang, and then I would just take a cut from their income. And I guess technically that would be winning. Also, it's encouraging children to be in crimes. Anyway, how do you improve this film? I was convinced that Michelle Pfeiffer's mate, who was a teacher, who had a terrible cough the entire film, was going to die.
So long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone.
And then at the end, he didn't. So it's just like, why the fuck did he have that horrible cough all the entire film? All of the students in this film are at least 25 years old. They don't look all that much different from Michelle Pfeiffer's age, which was strange to me.
I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know.
One of the characters, whatever his name was, he's like, oh no, like I'm being threatened by this dude who's going to shoot me. I think maybe Michelle Pfeiffer should have beat that guy up. I know this was based on a true story, but she should have used the Marine-ness a little bit more. She was told not to touch students in this film and not to teach them karate. And after that, she touched the students a number of times, and there were no repercussions to this. The softly spoken principal man had a point about not barging into people's offices, and the film made him out to be a bad guy because of his silly rules. He is right, people should knock when they enter rooms. Michelle Pfeiffer mentions that the pay isn't too good for being a teacher, but apparently she can afford to take all these kids out to a theme park, so she must be getting some money. Oh yeah, so the film is called Dangerous Minds. I was expecting the kids to have dangerous minds. I'm not saying I wanted them to get like psychic powers or anything, but their minds didn't seem that dangerous to me. Maybe work on the title a little bit. Michelle Pfeiffer, who's been told not to touch any of the students, definitely goes on a date with Raoul. I don't know, if one of the parents saw, she'd probably lose her job or something. There was no follow-up to this tall guy who was also supposed to go to dinner at that time not going, even though Callie, there was a follow-up to her not going, because Michelle Pfeiffer gave her the food afterwards or something along those lines, just weird. And there's a pair of brothers who leave the class because their mum or grandma, whoever it is, she doesn't like all these silly goddamn ideas that Michelle Pfeiffer's filling their heads with. And then at the end, Callie, who has also left the class, she comes back triumphantly to like try and convince Michelle Pfeiffer not to quit her job. And those two brothers just didn't. So there were too many songs in this film that started and not followed up. And Gangsta's Paradise was used 3 times. I like that song. It's a good song. Everyone likes that song. But it was used too many times. There's a bit where one of the kids, possibly Raoul, I don't know, says, America has to stand up to bullies, like I do in the streets, appealing to Michelle Pfeiffer's being a Marine. And the weird thing about that is, America's definitely the bully in military terms, right? Like, they keep invading places. And this is like a film from the 90s, so they kept invading places then as well. So, I don't know. It was weird.
That's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking. Are you...
There was a kid in the class wearing shades, sunglasses to you non-cool people. And he was definitely asleep, right? He was just doing the... But you can't see my eyes because I'm wearing sunglasses. There's the inspirational thing to the kids is Michelle Pfeiffer says, look, all of you are automatically getting an A. All you got to do is not be a twat. And, you know, you'll keep that A and you can graduate, yay. And then one of their classmates dies. And it's like that old urban legend that if you're in college or whatever and your friend dies or your roommate dies, you automatically get an A. So I wonder if those kids would automatically get an A because one of the students died anyway. I don't know. The teacher mate, who I was convinced was going to die and then didn't, he's at a bar marking students' essays. That's a GDPR nightmare, don't do that. Anyway, he's says like, oh, these bloody stupid children. He set a question to the class: who's the most influential president? Presumably American. And there's a load of silly answers like Snoop Dogg and Winston Churchill.
Homies might be lying to chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta low. As they grow, I see myself.
Which one of those students knew about Winston Churchill but didn't understand he wasn't the president of the USA? That's confusing. I think this was based on an article or a book called My Posse Don't Do Homework. And I don't remember Michelle Pfeiffer setting any homework. She set them like tasks to go look in the school library, but that's not homework. There's a bit where one of the kids says, I see the same inspirational movies that you do, and life's not like that. Which is weird, because this was one of those inspirational movies. Rating out of 5 beers. I would give this 2 beers out of 5. It wasn't bad. Do I feel like I should watch it again anytime soon? No, I do not.